you picked up the latest generation Galaxy Buds Pros 3rd generation, there's a good chance you're not using them to their full potential. So rather, if you're using it on an Android device, a Samsung phone, or even an iPhone, this is a complete guide of every little thing that these amazing earbuds can do aside from the on-demand illumination. Let's get started. So here they are, and I will have timestamps in the description down below because I will be talking about some of the hidden features on the iPhone side and all the hidden features that's found on the Galaxy Samsung series phones, devices like this Fold 6 that we got here. So first thing first, let's talk about the hardware. Every Galaxy Bud Pro earbud, its charging case, does support wireless charging, which allows these earbuds to have a total of up to 30 hours under a single charge, including the case. Earbuds individually can last about 6 hours. But if you need a fast charge, a 5-minute charge will allow these earbuds to last an additional hour of audio playback time. And then the LED stats, if you press the pair button once, it will show you the LED stats of the current case, including the earbuds. So green means more than 60%. If it was amber, it means it's between 30 to 60%. And if you see a red LED light, that's telling you that it's below 30%. And if you take the earbuds outside the case and you press that button one more time, same thing, the LED colors mean the exact same thing. Now, when it comes to these earbuds, they do feature LED lights, which by default, they do turn off automatically. They only illuminate when they come out of the case, but if you like to manually enable them, just hold down the stem. So long as the earbuds are not in your ear, you can enable the light of this LED stem. And it's customizable too, which I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But as soon as you put them back in the case, this will automatically reset them because next time when you take them out, they're turned off. They're not enabled. And when it comes to the controls, they're pressure point on the stems. So by pinching it like this, you'll feel a little small feedback letting you know that it did receive one haptic press. And the media controls are as follow. A single tap will pause or play your track. A double tap will skip to the next track. A triple tap will go back to your previously listened track. And a long hold will switch between the different modes: active noise cancellation, transparency mode, and adaptive mode. If that's enabled, I'll talk more about that in a little bit as well. Then when it comes to water resistant, these earbuds are the only things that's water resistant. These do have a water resistant rating of IP67, which means you could fully submerge these in water and expose these to dust. Just as not recommended to swim with these. The charging case is not water resistant, so keep that in mind. So let me get these out of here. And then when it comes to volume control, the stem can be adjusted by simply sliding your finger up and down to adjust the audio. Because if we take our device, I could raise and lower the audio just like so. And again, single tap will allow me to pause, play, double tap, go to the next track. A triple tap will take us back. But then putting these back in the case, obviously there's dedicated groups right here, so each earbud can always fall in the correct place without playing the guessing game if right is in left and vice versa. And the proper way to remove these out of the case is just to pull from here and out. Now when it comes to the fitting test, there is a built-in fitting test built in for the Samsung Wear app, which I'll cover more in a little bit. But these earbuds do come with 3 different sizes, and to get these out, you simply just pull and it comes out just like so. If you ever used AirPod Pros, it's very similar to that. And there's a custom grill right here to prevent wax from getting in the earbuds. And it's fixed with a fixed group, so it's a one size fits all. So there's no concern of this accidentally being placed incorrectly. And of course, it's nice to pull to make sure these won't come loose while you're wearing them. And then as we place them back in, you'll notice these are magnetically held together. So if I shake really hard, they're not going anywhere, including the lid. So these earbuds do support a dual connection, and the multi-point connection is only compatible if you're using existing Samsung devices like a tablet, cell phones in our case, which will allow these earbuds to connect from one Samsung device to the other seamlessly without having to go into Bluetooth settings. However, if you do have an Android and an iPhone as an example, you can pair these to an Android device by hitting the pair button right here. Earbuds need to be inside the case and you need to have the lid open. And by long holding the pair button right here, very soon you'll see the LED light begin flashing green, blue, and amber. And now this device is in pair mode. So if we go into our iPhone and go into Bluetooth settings and scroll all the way down, we will see it right here, Buds Pro 3. And just like that, they are indeed pair. And the cool thing about this, although it doesn't support the multi-pair ability, As you can see right here on our Samsung device, we could override and quickly connect to it without having to manually go into the Bluetooth setting mode. So it does support a dual connection between two devices where my iPhone could call the earbuds back to connect, and I could do the exact same thing on the Samsung. I could always just call them back to connect to this device quickly, just like that. So again, I could quickly connect to it in no time, in real time, and vice versa. So it's a dual, or better known as a multi-point connector. Now, let's get out of here and talk about the Android side. So for these to be fully customizable, you need to wear them. So when you first pair these to an Android device, a little window will pop up showing you not only the battery life stats as it showed us earlier, but also the ability to quickly one tap connect. And once you do that, you do need to download the Samsung wearable app. By selecting this app and you switch to the earbuds, you unlock a lot of good goodies. Because down here, not only can you see the battery life stats of the earbuds themselves, but if you scroll down, you have the frame to switch between the different modes that these earbuds has to offer. In the active noise cancellation, you do have an active noise cancellation leveler slider if you want to be really aggressive or not that aggressive. You do have adapted mode, and in adapted mode, there's a new toggle down below here that will do auto switch to ambient sound. By going in here, you can have it so the earbuds will utilize AI to detect vocals. So if somebody approaches you while you're wearing these earbuds, it will automatically switch to ambient mode. Same apply if you start talking. This works extremely well. And if you find yourself in the city, cycling, you may want to consider enabling sirens. This way, if you have active noise cancellation enabled while you're walking down the street, if there's an emergency vehicle driving by, these will quickly understand that and switch to ambient mode so you can hear your surroundings better. Super useful in those type of situations, especially if you're like skateboarding or riding a scooter or something like that. And then when it says use ambient sound during phone calls, this is good to enable if you find yourself getting loud during your phone calls, because this allows you to monitor your vocal levels. So if you get too loud during a phone call, you'll hear your own voice, so you can actually hear yourself and know that you're talking a little bit too loud to the caller. Now in the sound quality and effects, 360 audio is compatible with these earbuds. And very similar to like other devices like Apple with spatial audio, Sony has something similar too. These do have a tracking head ability. When you enable this, wherever your phone is facing, and if I rotate my head to the right, the audio will shift to the position where the phone is facing. This is primarily ideal to use if you're watching like a movie as an example, and you want to feel like you're in a theater room setting. That's when you may want to consider enabling this. But for media, music listening, just 360 audio is more than just enough. In terms of equalizer, you do have full equalizer settings. You can always select the presets, but there is a custom one which gives you full freedom to adjust the bass and everything else to your own personal preference. This is one of very few earbuds that are main flagships that allow us to have this override ability, which is quite awesome. And then boost dialogues. This is good to enable if you're watching like a video with a lot of background sound and you just want to hear the vocals, the dialogue. Enable boost dialogue and it will utilize AI so you can hear people conversations a lot clearer, especially ideal for YouTube videos if they have their microphone settings set up incorrectly. This technically allows you to edit that so you have a better experience when you're listening to a video with somebody talking very low. And then in loudness, very similar to boost dialogue, but this will be all sound in general. So if there's background noise or background noise that's too loud or too quiet, by turning this on, this will also use AI to make sure the tone and the decibel levels throughout the entire video is even and flat, so to the point where you can hear it nicely and it's not terribly edited. And then in the sound fit, by having this enabled, whenever you have to readjust your earbuds will adapt to that readjustment and will do its best to give you the maximum optimized active noise cancellation or ambient mode enabled. I highly recommend leaving this on. Now in advanced quality options, in here you'll find a cool ultra wide quality audio, which if you read the description, it says get professional level audio playback with up to 96 kilohertz sample rates. Sound response may lag in some apps. I like fiddling with this because by having this on, it will turn off boost dialogue as you see right here, as it will utilize AI to do this instead. So if you like to favor your sound quality for music listening, you may want to consider turning this on. So depending on who you are, if you watch a lot of vocal videos or listen to a lot of music, you may want to turn this one on instead for the best music experience. And then for the super wideband speech. If you feel like you have a harder time of listening to certain people during your phone calls, enable this. This is said to help you to understand the caller a lot better. Now going back, on the very bottom, here is where you'll see the fit test I was telling you about earlier. If you're unsure you're using the correct earbuds, you can swap the different sizes and place the earbud in your ear. It's going to turn into a solid white color, and you can start the test, and it's going to start playing the sound. And if it notices that one earbud is different than the other, because people have different size ear canals, it'll advise you right here to switch to a different ear tip until you get the right seal. So it wouldn't hurt to go in here and do the fit test to make sure you are using the correct silicone tips for you, so you can get the best sounding experience out of these buds. Now getting out of sound quality in earbuds control, this is where you have the freedom to swap it between media controls. If you don't want media controls to be able to pause and play your tracks, you can disable it right there, but I don't know why you want to do that. And then in the pitch and hold controls, if you want one earbud to have access to the noise controls, you can always disable it right here. But I recommend just leaving both on. I don't see why. And you can also enable your pinch controls to also answer or pick up calls, or a long pinch to decline. So if you get an incoming call, a single pinch will answer the phone call and end the phone call, and a long hold would just decline. But here is where you can find the earbud light controls. So if you want a blinking motion, which will show you an animation how that looks like in real time, you can enable it right there. If you want to fade in like a breathe effect, you can enable fade in and fade out, or steady, which will be a solid line at all times. I wish this was more customizable, but just keep in mind the LED lights will not go on if the earbuds fall below 30%. And to give you a demonstration how that looks like, if we enable them, this is how blinking looks like. It does like a slight blink and then fade in and fade out. Looks like this. It's very slow and it goes completely off. And then steady, the stem LED light will continuously just run. Personally, I wish this was customizable to the point where you could synchronize it with like your EQ settings or something as you're listening to music. But going back, getting out of here, in the Find My Earbuds section, this will launch your Galaxy Find app. So if you don't know what app this is, here it is. It's the Find app. By clicking here, you can pin your device in case you misplaced these and you're having a hard time finding them. It will play a loud sound on both right or left earbud, and will also utilize the LED light too, so you can locate it in case it's like in a dark room. But if we place these back in the case, it will switch to this icon where it will allow us to search nearby. Search nearby, a 5 minutes countdown will start, so it could try to locate these earbuds. Unfortunately, it's not quick, it's not snappy, so I have to give it like about 3 minutes for them to connect, so let's wait a little bit longer. There we go. Now this new ring pops up, so if I take these further away, you'll see that the ring starts getting smaller and smaller, and the closer these gets, the larger and more full the ring gets, and it'll tell you that your signal is strong. So a cool little tool to help locate your earbuds in case you misplaced them, and of course you can still play sound. And they're playing sound through the speakers as you see right here, and it still continues to illuminate that LED light to help you locate it in a dark room. But now, getting out of here and back into the wearable app, if we connect these, if we scroll all the way to the very bottom, in the tips and user guide, here's some more gesture controls and stuff like that you can overview, but I quickly just shared this with you not too long ago. And there also is a cool 3D recording ability, which I'll show you that in a little bit. Because another thing I want to show you can be located in your Samsung settings. If you scroll all the way to the very bottom where it says device care, you could click on diagnostics and you could select between other devices that are connected to your phone, or you could run a diagnostic on your phone. But if we select earbuds, if you feel like your microphone or your battery stats or something isn't wrong, you could perform tests right here and your phone will actually tell you if it's working properly or not, and you may want to consider performing a warranty claim if it detects something's out of the ordinary. So it's nice that Samsung provides us with diagnostic tools in case we're unsure if our microphone quality just isn't on par to what it's being advertised to perform. You could perform the mic test right there and your phone will diagnostic and give you the results right then and there, so you can make the next decision if you want to return these or again do the warranty claim. Now exiting out of here and go back into the Wear app. In the earbud settings, in voice control, here you could have it so Bixby can wake up by just saying, "Hey Bixby," as an example. So if you like hands-free virtual voice assistance, you could just enable that and you could verbally just activate your virtual voice assistant. You can also enable it so voice commands could do different things. By having voice commands enabled like this, you don't have to say Bixby or anything like that. You could just clearly just say volume up, and it'll verbally just pick up your verbal cues, and we'll do it right then and there, including play music, stop playing music, next song, and etc. Stop music, just like that. This works extremely well. I like having this on personally. The Bixby one, nah, not so sure. Now in-ear detection, if you want your earbuds to automatically pause and play whenever you take one out of your ear, you can enable the auto pause and play ability right here. And then at the top here, if you read there, it says switch calls to phone when both earbuds are removed. I like that one. And of course down here you can see your earbuds test, which I already showed you a different place to locate that. And read notifications out loud. You can enable this and select all the apps. So whenever you receive like an alarm, a missed call, or schedule reminder, or something like that, any of these apps that are enabled, if it sends you a push notification while you're wearing your earbuds, it'll read them out loud for you. I like having this one on and just having my messages enabled, so I know if I should reply or not during my workout. But back out of here, the seamless earbud connect. This is that multi-connection that I was telling you about earlier. If you have multiple Samsung devices, as soon as these earbuds are connected to one Samsung device under your same account, this will seamlessly just connect from one device to the other. This is what you need to make sure to have that enabled. Now, next, stretch reminders. If you like to be reminded if you're wearing your earbuds for a long duration and your posture is wrong, your earbuds are able to detect that and send you a notification if it's time to stretch out your neck. So if you wish to turn this on, you totally can. And then in the lab section, this is where you'll find game mode. If you want to give your earbuds the lowest latency possible for when you're online gaming on your mobile device, you could go in here and enable that right there. Just keep in mind, you may want to go ahead and turn off 360 audio for this to work. That's why it's grayed out for us. And reset, this is what you want to do if you're trying to factory reset your earbuds for whatever said reason. In the accessibility tab, you do have the ability to adjust the balance more right or left, personal preference. You can also enable it so noise cancellation will be enabled even if you're wearing just one earbud at a time. Ideally for phone call conversations, what I find to be useful with this mode enabled. And hearing enhancement for ambient noise. When you have this enabled, everything just sounds more amplified than it should. So if you have a hard time of hearing, you may want to consider enabling these two. And basically this will allow you to treat these like almost like hearing aids. Now out of there, in the software update, of course, this is where you can see if you have an available update to update these if you want to. And then in diagnostic, what I showed you earlier, this is where you can run a diagnostic test to your earbuds if you feel like something just isn't right and you like to do a warranty claim. And then in the about earbuds section, in here's where you could go in and actually rename these. If you like to rename your earbuds to something else, you can totally do that. And you can find more information, including battery information. Just so the price, it'll include the date when these batteries were produced. Now out of here, if you launch the camera app and you switch to video, if you tap the gear icon while you're wearing both earbuds, in the advanced video option, down here, you'll see a new 360 audio recording. By enabling this, and whenever you record a video, it'll utilize your mics on the earbuds and capture a full 360 immersion. That's why it says 360 mic enabled on the very top right here. So if you record something and you play back the audio, you'll hear everything around you when you were recording, giving that 3D immersion. I find this super cool, especially if you do a lot of ASMR. Just keep in mind when you send a video to YouTube, 360 audio, it's not supported on YouTube, but your left and rights will sound really great if you're trying to capture that ASMR goodness. And then lastly, if you do have a Samsung device, it is recommended to use these on Samsung because you will take advantage to the Samsung exclusive 24-bit codec, which is said to give you the best audio listening experience out of these earbuds possible. But this is only useful if you're paying for like those premium music subscriptions. But if you're a casual listener like I am, who just listen to podcasts, the AI functions I was showing you earlier are good enough, and you really won't notice a massive difference in terms of the new codecs performance for a non-audio file. So your YouTube videos and stuff like that won't really make it that much of a difference. Then another hidden feature can be located in the Bluetooth settings. Let me go ahead and put these back on. If you go into your system settings and you go into connections and select Bluetooth, and hit the gear icon next to the earbuds. Down here, you'll find most of those other settings I was showing you earlier, as well as a quick shortcut that launches the wearable app. But here where it says listen to Aura Cast broadcast, By enabling this will allow you to actually set up your earbuds to be used as a broadcast. I'm not really too knowledgeable how to use this, but if you are aware of Aurora Cast, you do have that ability with these earbuds. And then on your home page, there are two widgets you should at least be aware of. By going into the widgets and going into Samsung, you'll see a Wear widget right here. Here you go not only include your sound control levels, which will give you quick access to noise cancellation, turn off completely, and etc. Another widget that's good to know is the battery widget, because here the battery widget will allow you to monitor your earbuds, including the case as well, and see the battery life in real time right here, instead of having to put the earbuds back in their case and just open it up next to them and having to wait for this little pop-up card to pop up and show you the battery life stats. And then if you have the Galaxy Watch, either the Ultra or any other Galaxy Watch, the control panel, you do have the ability to override these and quickly connect directly to the watch itself. As right now, it's just connected these earbuds to the smartwatch. Just keep in mind when these are connected to the smartwatch, if you have the mechanical ticking sound, you could hear them to the earbuds. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch that video in the corner right there where I go through the hidden features of the Ultra as well as the Galaxy Watch 7. But if we go into our tiles, you'll find a buds control. You just need to add allow permission, hit allow, and in here you do have the ability to enable active noise cancellation, adaptive mode, ambient mode, or have it off entirely. If you have an ambient sound enabled, you can also adjust that ambient mode I was talking about earlier in the settings on the wrist. Same applies for active noise cancellation, and you can see in real time when you're talking, switching between active noise cancellation or adaptive noise. But moving out of this and switching to the iPhone side of things, so long as you already previously paired this to your phone, you can always just go on Control Center, long hold on Bluetooth, and then select the earbuds right here and there. And it immediately connects. And you'll find all the settings you adjusted on the Samsung side or your Android device stayed. So if we start playing some music, you'll notice that a single tap will pause and play, then double tap will skip to the next track, and triple tap will take us back to the previously listened track. And of course, if you long hold, you can switch between the different modes, and you still have volume control, where you could increase or decrease the audio, as you can see right there. It's just kind of laggy right now for me. And then of course, if you take both out and you long hold the stem, you still have your LED lights you can enabled, and depending on the last setting you selected, it will continue even on the iPhone. So these do have built-in memory where all the settings you adjusted on the earbuds will stay even if they're not paired to their native phone. This also includes gaming consoles, Windows computers, Macs, and any other device that utilizes a Bluetooth connection for supported earbuds or headphones. And I gotta say, there was a couple times where I took these to the gym, connected to my iPhone, and my experience has been identical to the Samsung's. So if you don't have an Android device or you have a friend who has an Android device, tell them to download the Wear app, connect it to their device, customize the EQ settings to your own personal preference, and tell your friend thanks and pair these to your phone, and all the settings you adjusted there will remain on your iPhone, which is quite awesome, or any other device that supports Bluetooth. So because of that, these are my now go-to earbuds, as these already successfully replaced my AirPods Pros, as the noise cancellation is really good. The active noise cancellation is amazing, but best of all, the audio quality is amazing just due to the fact that it supports a real EQ setting. It's not saved with just presets that Apple gave us. Because you could still do that if you really want to, go into your system settings, go into music, and go into EQ and select between these preset ones, but that's basically it. Full EQ settings is honestly the best way to go. So in other words, if you have like an old Android phone laying around, download the app, customize it, and pair them to your iPhone. That's how I'm able to do it. And that's why I absolutely love these things. And if you have like old pair of AirPods, like these very first generation early AirPods Pros, right now Samsung is giving people an insane deal because if you buy these, you'll get $100 off if you trade in like old AirPods. They don't even specify what kind of AirPods it is. So if you have like old AirPods laying around, you'll get $100 off if you trade in for the Galaxy Buds Pros, which I think it's an amazing deal. And then not only that, if you have like the very first generation earbuds from Samsung, these Pro ones, they're going to give you a $75 credit if you trade these in for these, which is another insane deal. Then if you have like random brand earbuds that you bought like at for $10 at Five Below, Samsung website also says they'll give you $50 if you trade wireless earbuds in for the Galaxy Buds Pros, which is another ridiculously good deal. Then if you use my referral link in the description down below, it's also going to give you an additional 5% off discount with your trade-in value. So you can really get an insane good deal for some amazing sounding and feature-rich earbuds. So I have those linked in the description down below if you haven't picked those up yet. And there we have it. That is the ins and out when it comes to using the Galaxy Buds Pro 3 to its full potential. And if you haven't yet picked up yours and you'd like to pre-order it before it becomes officially released with the new updated tips, when that gets released on August 28th, I'll be sure to include a 5% discount code in the description down below, or discount affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything, it just sends a small kickback to the channel, but it'll also be attached somewhere in the video description as well with the image icon. Now, if you wish to watch more, make sure to check out this video over there where I go through all the new changes that's available on the Galaxy Ultra, including some tips and tricks and some settings you definitely need to enable to really get the most out of that device. My name was Eddie, and thank you so much for watching.